Minimalism is a lifestyle that encourages us to live with less and focus just on what we need. It is a life that forces intentionality. But we are not minimalists.
I mean, we really love stuff.
Always have, probably always will.
I bought this shirt over 15 years ago. It has holes all over it, and yet I can't throw it out. As you can see, our equipment is very well organized.
The trunk of my car is a complete mess. Let me just show you the inside of my drawers. These are my shirts, my pants. I'm actually not sure what's supposed to be in this drawer. More stuff over here. Here's my overalls, a tiger suit, just, stuff. But minimalism as a movement is everywhere. Marie Kondo is telling you to get rid of your stuff on Netflix.
You are a phenomenon.
Friends of ours like Matt Diavella are showing you the benefits of living with less on YouTube.
As a former messy person, I have to admit that I hate clutter.
Even apps like YouTube and Instagram are helping you set limits on how much you use them. So where did this trend towards less, towards extreme simplification come from? And how does it affect your life, whether you're a minimalist or not?
Of course, we all have problems tidying our homes, but it's not just that, Stephen. We all have clutter in our hearts, and that's what needs tidying.
Oh.
Okay, first, let's take a look at the origins of minimalism. Minimalism is an ideology and a way of life that has principles that are as old as time.
Many of the world's major religions warn about an obsession over material possessions.
Material value ultimately bring physical comfort, not mental comfort.
But minimalism as we know it today is largely a response to a culture that was started in the early 1800s with the Industrial Revolution. Advances in manufacturing and technology led to the mass production of goods.
Factories were churning out countless numbers of products that were once deemed luxury items.
Then, post-World War I and World War II, the economies gave us a healthy middle class with money to spend on those goods.
6 years after the end of World War II, America is wealthier than ever.
The biggest volume ever of goods and services.
And finally, the adoption of new media like the radio and television resulted in effective advertising that made us want the goods even if we didn't necessarily need them.
What could be more refreshing than Newport menthol cigarettes?
With the advent of the internet in recent times,
the information superhighway,
this type of advertising has exploded.
We've never been easier to reach or easier to be persuaded than with the type of advertising we have today on social media.
The youngest self-made billionaire in history.
Basically selling beauty products via her Instagram and social media account.
Do you believe that our phones are listening to us and that you get fed ads based on things you say?
Yes, I'm a believer.
I'm a believer in that too.
I'm also a believer.
Oh, that's irrelevant, but also interesting.
Sometimes I just think of it and I get an ad on Instagram. So we found ourselves in this age of excess, surrounded by all of these things that we wanted but didn't ultimately need, and all the while we're still feeling unfulfilled.
And with every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Hence, minimalism as we know it today.
The modern minimalist movement really started around 2006 with bloggers like Leo Babauta.
And the movement has spread quickly via the internet, largely due to these guys.
My name's Ryan Nicodemus. This is Joshua Fields Millburn.
Together we run a website called theminimalists.com.
And they are responsible for introducing large amounts of people to minimalism for the first time.
Does this add value to my life? And if not, I have to be willing to let go.
And when they wanted more about minimalism, they found it on YouTube. YouTube has made minimalism an extremely visual practice. The lifestyle now has leaders, faces, and aesthetics that it never had before. White walls, woods, coffee, blacks, grays, and big biceps. Or maybe that's just Matt.
Biceps, 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 and biceps.
So how is this affecting our lives?
Everything is very specialized now. In a world where people want and buy less, the stories have to be simplified from an advertising perspective. As a consumer, when we're only buying one of an item, we want to know that it is the best item.
And companies have gotten very minimal with their messaging and advertising as a result.
We now have companies that do only one thing, like a company that makes mattresses, another that makes sunglasses, luggage,
and even hipster scrubs, like for doctors.
That seems very niche. And a friend of ours runs a company with a very simple and straightforward story. Cuts.
How you guys doing? Welcome. We're stoked to work with you guys.
Yeah, man. We're really excited. Cuts Clothing makes fresh minimalist shirts that you can wear year over year.
Their message is super simple. You can shop by the collar or by the cut.
We get asked all the time, why haven't you come out with joggers? All these different types of wear, but for us, we think our biggest asset is our simplicity.
Outside of being a lifestyle, minimalism can also be a storytelling practice.
As a consumer, if you just come across cuts, you can understand it with just like an immediate visual. And to us, we talk about that in storytelling a lot. We have to do certain storytelling techniques to make it really clear cut, and that's what makes something viral.
That's cool.
Companies like Cuts have simplified their message to make it very clear, and for us as storytellers, we also have to think about simplifying our message and making it easy for people to understand.
A lot of minimalists make the case for wearing the same shirt every day. Big-time CEOs do it. A lot of people say that it helps your productivity because it reduces the amount of time that you have to make a decision in the morning. I spend a considerable amount of time in the morning trying to put together an outfit that's gonna make sense. Here are some of the outfits that we would wear in a given week.
And while we do like to express ourselves through our clothing, it would be nice to have a go-to shirt that we just don't have to think about as much.
And what I really like about Cut shirts, which I'm wearing one right now, is that I can layer anything on top of them. So it's an extremely versatile shirt, and honestly, it's extremely comfortable. If you're interested in checking out one of these Cut shirts for yourself, Steve actually gave us a link for 15% off your first order. That link is in our description, and we also linked their Instagram so you can check out more styles from them.
I don't remember where it was, but there was this really great line about what makes a movie a blockbuster hit. And someone said if it can be summed up in 3 lines, it'll be a success. But if you can sum up your movie in 1 line, it'll be a blockbuster hit. And the same goes for any type of story you're trying to tell. If you can sum it up in 1 line, most likely it'll do very well on the internet.
All right, so let's try this. Comment below and try and sum us up in 1 sentence.
So finish this sentence in the comments. Colin and Samir are. Whichever definition of us is our favorite, we will pin that to the top of the comment list. You only get 1 sentence. Good luck.
Also, this would be really helpful for us.
This will be very helpful for us because we're still trying to pin it down to just 1 sentence.
Maybe we'll use it on our website. And again, thanks to Cuts and Steve for sponsoring this video. The link for that is in the description. All right, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and check out Cuts in the description. Peace! I mean, remember that time we were driving and I saw that chair on the side of the road and I just had to put it in my car, and now it's in our studio?
Maximalists.
I didn't need that chair.
No.
But I just saw it on the side. I was like, what, am I not gonna put this chair in my car?
Still don't use that chair. But we own that chair.
But we could. What if we need a chair one day?
We won't. We have many a chair.